And we are live, Believe Nation. Happy Monday. Monday is my mentoring day, so I spend the day mentoring the people on my team. They all contribute a lot more to my business than I do collectively, so that's going to be basically my entire day. Mentoring, doing a lot of Zoom calls, hangouts. Oh, Benjamin in the house. Welcome. It's been a while, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. It's a weird time for us today. Normally we do it at 2 p.m., but I'm going to be in a meeting at 2, so we're going to go live a little bit earlier. I see my man Kyle here in the house and see how we can bring some value today. Good morning, Angela. Good morning. Ho!
Hey, I shaved my head.
Wow, you did.
We're brothers now.
When did that happen? Was that last night?
So I took a buzzer 2 nights ago, and then last night I did the razor with the shaving cream.
Okay.
First time in my life.
How do you feel?
It feels great. It feels like a weight lifted off my head, literally. Yeah, it's great.
I love it. Well, welcome to the club.
Now our friendship officially begins.
There you go. Okay, so Believe Nation, this is Kyle Menko, one of the best TMO players in the world, who coaches me on League of Legends, and I also sponsor his stream. And we do this series every now and then to help him with his gaming business. So what's the update, man? What do you got? How can I help?
There's a lot of good stuff going on. I'm going to have to try to organize it, Let's see. Let's go topic by topic. So we have the Prime Gaming, Twitch Gaming, sorry, I call it Prime Gaming. Twitch Gaming that I told you about, that it's very exciting. We're starting the rehearsal process in 5 days from now, so that's cool. How do you feel about that? I feel like it's a good sign because in the gaming industry there's not much organization, so the fact that we're doing like a rehearsal and then going, isn't that awesome?
It's great because Twitch has a million people to do deals with. And they are. They're not just doing deals with you. They're doing deals with all sorts of people. And so your job is to take that deal that you've got with Twitch and turn it into a 6-figure deal with Twitch.
Yeah, you say that, make it sound easy, but
Well, I mean, that's immediately where my head goes, right? It's like, okay, we got this deal. It's great. It's a good start. Now, how do we make this a 6-figure annual deal with Twitch? And so how you do, they're spending that, like that's not a lot of money for them. That's not like it's this giant impossible. They're already spending that. But they're spending on other people. And so your job is to be the best when you come in. So one rehearsal is great. Maybe we need 5 rehearsals. I'd also be in touch with their team to say, here's what we're planning. Like whoever the project manager is on this, whoever your contact is, they're the key person. Because they can upsell you into the organization even bigger. So you loop him or her in now into what you're doing, into the preparation, into the practice, into the ideas, instead of just we show up and like, hey, did we do a good job?
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
Super standard stuff, but because the gaming industry is so new, and because most of the gamers have no idea how to do business, it's their first business. Like this is your first business. And so just like every other entrepreneur, you make a million mistakes at the beginning. So it's actually a lot easier deal to get. Like getting the 6-figure deal is easier than you think. They're already spending money. They're dealing with people who don't have a plan, who aren't practicing, who don't loop in the company. And you're also the wholesome brand of positive mental attitude as being the branding. That's one that people want to get behind in the gaming world. So loop them in like ASAP. Get there.
With that being said, we don't know any details yet of the context of the show, right? We've seen the episodes, but it hasn't been a league one. That they're going over that, I would assume, in rehearsal. So should we go in just saying, hey, here's our ideas, or should we say, okay, let's hear your ideas first and then work with that?
So who called the rehearsal, them or you?
They did.
Okay. So in advance, when is the rehearsal?
The first. Let me
Okay.
check my calendar.
So what you want to do is set up a call in advance of the first and say we want to be as prepared as possible for the rehearsal. Like, this isn't something the gamers do. We want to prepare
I
for
know, yeah.
the right. We've watched the shows. I love how you do XYZ. I love to know how myself as the leader, as well as the people you're bringing 5 people with you.
Yes.
The 5 people that I'm bringing with me can be as prepared as possible to get. Even if you'd rather be over prepared and show them how professional you are, compared to underprepared and just showing up and winging it and hoping that things work out. Because that's your default style anyway.
Yeah. Mix it up for a little bit there. Yeah.
But that's everybody's style typically, right? So you want to be the standout, to be over prepared, because you want that person leaving the call, the pre-call, right? Like, the call's gonna happen before the first, thinking, wow, these guys are on their game.
Oh, yeah.
Not just one of many. You're one of 25 deals that they're doing. We should find a way to do more with these guys. Now, it's still assuming that you show up and you do a good job and you're entertaining and positive and, like, you fulfill the requirements. But if you hit all the requirements of what a good show is, people would much rather work with the people who are early, professional, kind, like, and you'll be kind and nice by default, so that's fine. But the other stuff, the early and the professional,
That's definitely not,
that's what we need to work.
a gamer's strong suit or my strong suit. So
Right. But that's how you can easily win, right? And then
yeah.
that person starts pitching you up in the organization. Say, we should bring in the next conversation, like, do we want Kyle? Do we want Ninja? Do we want Kyle? We want Kyle.
Fair enough. Hey, I just want to let you know you have a couple of streamers in the chat. PMA streamer and another streamer, so that's awesome. Look at that, meshing the gaming and business world together. Look at that. Okay, so another serious question that I want, like, your total honesty and opinion. That is something that
regardless, you don't have
yeah.
to.
Thank you. Okay, so Team PMA, right? Your first business, right? So we're getting there, making our mistakes along the way, of course. I want to know your opinion. So we have the sponsorship program I told you about. That's underway, and that's awesome. It's very, like, can't give it to everybody, right? We're picking and choosing based off who's doing their job the best and whatnot. So question, we are facing a little, call it a happening, right? New season starting. Maybe some team members aren't being as positive. Maybe some, I don't think anybody's toxic on the team, but there's been instances where the positivity isn't the best, right? And that's something that that's why the team started, right? I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. I'm in it because I want to make the Rift a better place. That's the core values. So, do you think we should should we have, like, a no tolerance policy? Do you think it should be like 3 strikes you're out? Do you think I should have, like, a friend-to-friend talk? How do you feel like we should combat this? And by we, it's going to be me swinging the punishment hammer, I guess. But it's like, what do you think is the best way?
Is this internal or public?
Internal.
So,
Well, it's just like, streamers in their streams. So say I watch X, Y, and Z stream and they're not being positive, they're being negative. And they're on Team PMA.
That's what I would say is public. Like, public facing stream versus internal, like, bickering between each other, or like,
between everybody's an angel. Like, we can have an event, we can freaking, we're best friends. It's like, so just like, because playing solo queue for 8 to 10 hours a day is not the easiest, right? You make it look easy. I make it look easy sometimes. It's not the easiest, and I get that. And, like, where, the thing with positivity, it's all like, there's no body, like, you can't say, oh, this guy's positive or this guy's not. Well, you can, but it's hard, so it's like, we've been trying to set that gold standard, and we were trying to communicate it, which I think we're doing well. So how do you think we should go about that? Because, like I said, it's been happening a lot with the new season, which is understandable, but it's not understandable to be negative in a team PMA.
Yeah. How many people are on PMA?
We are actually like, halting applications because we don't want it to get out of hand. We want to still have that high quality. There's 44 right now, 43.
And to get in, is it what, talking to you, or How do they
It's
get?
an application. An application. So application, you average 30 viewers, have a little bit of followers. We do a manual review with our recruiting team. So there's a couple of us.
But then at some point they talk to you.
Yeah, and then me and the recruiting team talk it over, and then we make a final decision, and then I invite them or I don't invite them.
Okay, so you've got two options to do it. The first option is super specific rules and guidelines. If you say these words on stream, you could risk losing your membership here, right? If you, whatever, you set up your 8 rules of what is positive or what is negative, like what could get you kicked out, basically. And as you scale, that is something that probably needs to get done, right? So look at Twitch. There's guidelines. If you break the guidelines, if you do these things, you get kicked out of Twitch. And there are some that are super easy and obvious, but most people they're not partner. They don't know anybody at Twitch, and they can't fight it. It's just super hard. It's all automated. But if you're doing some of these things, then you get kicked out of Twitch. That works best when you don't have a personal connection to them. If the goal is to keep it in the 40, 50 range, and then just maybe improve on the quality, people will still drop. Like some people may decide, I don't know, I don't want to stream anymore. Okay, great. Well, you can't be a part of Team PMA if you're not streaming. I mean, it's kind of part of the.
We've done a good job with that. With anybody who's inactive can't be on it, and that's been really good conversations, which is good.
Yeah. But so that's the same thing. It's those conversations, and the pull is the personal relationship. So if we were having a conversation, and we've had a couple, for your business offline, not public on Instagram, but offline, it's like you're doing something that then you want my feedback on. I say, dude, this is not how to do it. and you'll listen, hopefully, usually, because there's pull, because you know me, because I care about you, because I want to see you win. And so for those people, it's just having a conversation. Like, hey, what's going on? Maybe their dog just died. Maybe they just broke up. Like, have you always been in the most PMA mindset when you had?
Not.
Well, so that's the thing, right? So it's spending the extra time with them to understand what they're doing, what's going on in their life right now. Maybe they just need the reminder. Maybe they're around a lot of negative people and they're not proud of how they're acting right now, and they just need to be called out and have a not just like, hey, you're being negative, you suck, but what's going on in your life? Like, this isn't who you are. And they need that extra little. This is your job as a leader, is to help people be the best version of themselves. And that is listening and caring and empathizing, and then trying to help design a strategy forward. It doesn't mean that, hey, if they keep doing it, they're going to stay on the team. Like, if you keep just showing up and you're negative all the time, you're going to get kicked off the team. But it probably won't go there if you have enough pull emotionally with them. Like, you know what? You're right, Kyle. I don't know. I've just been having this rough. I just got fired. My girlfriend left me, and it's just been really rough right now. Thank you for bringing me back into the light, right? At the end of the day, you're the heart and soul. So when you say there's no way to say if somebody is positive or not, it's your heart and soul that says whether they're positive or not. This is your club. You get to pick who joins in or not.
It's a good way of looking at it. So it's interesting. Yeah.
So some kind of rules are great for the website.
Rules are hard because like a lot of streaming is tone and like how you say something or when you say something, if it's ironic or unironic. So it's like hard to have like, hey, you can't say this, Obviously it's for, it's a no-brainer for some stuff. Like, yeah, hey, don't call your teammates dumbasses, right? That's fair. But it's like, a lot of it is context, and like tone. So it's like hard to, it's hard to come with that, but I can definitely see where you're coming from because, after you brought it up, I've talked to 2 people and they've gotten, once we had a talk or a reminder, it's like they're an angel now. They're an angel again, You know, it's like, so that has worked
Well, and
twice
listen,
now.
more important than just them being better for their stream and team PMA, you've helped them.
Yeah, that's what it's all about too.
Like you've actually helped them as a person. Because
Amen.
this is where it's like it's not just slapping their wrists and saying, "Hey, do this or you're out." It's giving them love because they probably just need somebody to talk to, and chances are the people in their life they can't talk to.
Amen. It's a good way of looking at it.
Well, that's it. That's leadership, dude. I mean, that's running a company where you actually care about the people on your team. When like at 45 people or whatever, it starts to get a little rough. I mean, I'm at 30 something in my company, and I feel the pull of like everybody to be connected to me. But yeah, even if you're checking in with them once a month, or if it's only you're checking in when there's something negative going on, and most people would just expect it to be that slap on the wrist, that penalty box, like, hey, if you don't do this, you're gonna be kicked out. And it doesn't mean that there are not consequences. But
It's hard for me to do that process. It's hard for me to say, hey, here's like a strike, or like, hey, you have to stop this. You know, it's hard for me to say that. I like having the talks, which I've been doing great, but it's hard for me to say, hey, you can't do this. You know, I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard, but you
but
know, it's part of
that's
being a
hard things. I mean,
yeah.
so I mean that's part of it.
I have to
Leadership is
get better
hard.
at it.
You got to do the hard thing. So it's most people would expect the penalty box or the the slap on the wrist, and there are still consequences. Like you can still. I wouldn't lead with it. Say, hey, I've been seeing a lot of negativity on your stream recently, where you did this, this, and this. What's going on? And I would even default to like at the beginning. It's not even about PMA. It's not about you. It's not about the relation. It's about them. Like, let's put aside PMA and let's put aside all of our rules and everything else right now. Just tell me what's happening in life, because at least from what I know of you, this isn't who you are. So what's happening right now that this is causing, right? And so you're unburdening the PMA stuff and just helping them, and then you solve the problem. So like, why are they negative? Why are they toxic? They're duoing with somebody who's just super negative and they're being pulled in, or whatever the thing is that's causing them to be that way. And then you get to a solution, which is whatever the solution is, right? They're gonna not do it with that person anymore. They're gonna get a good sleep schedule. They're like, whatever the thing is. And once you get a solution, then you talk about the fact that, hey, obviously this is important for PMA. We're PMA, positive mental attitude.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Keeping up this behavior is going to be important to stay in the group, and I think you're going to be an amazing part of this group. And I want to help you grow and build your stream and get sponsors and all that. But you have to stay on the right side of this for us.
It goes into, you know, creeps into like that's gonna be our branding, right? That's what the team
I
is.
got
You
it.
know,
Yeah,
when we go to
I was demoing. I already know that. What you missed was the process. It's like you come in and you're not punishing them. You're caring about them as a human first. If somebody leads with, I know Kyle, like you set up a call. Hey, I want to talk to you about what's going on in your stream. I know Kyle, I know it's not very PMA. I know. I'll fix it. That's not, no. It's like, I don't even care about PMA right now. I want to talk about you. So
it's very important. That's yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
You're putting PMA aside and you're only talking about the person. You have to solve the problem with the person before you come back to PMA. Once you solve the problem with the person, then you can talk about PMA. Say, hey, this is important for PMA because we're positive mental attitude, and if this keeps happening, I can't keep helping you. So it's not that there are no consequences, just not the lead. Because if you're leading with consequences, they shut down and they just promise to do better.
I do as well.
Yeah, well, everybody does. As soon as you go on the attack, people raise their defenses. That's what happens. If I'm attacking you, you're gonna instantly get defensive.
True.
And then that makes it a lot more difficult to get to the
The
cause
meat
of
and
our
potatoes.
solution. Because you don't want them just to say, like, that's a very typical corporate thing, is why people hate their jobs, is the boss would just say, you need to fix this. Like, what's wrong with you? Fix this thing. And then all you're going to say
Yeah,
is,
it's stupid.
yes, sir, I'll fix this. But what's the problem? How did this even happen in the first place, right? So if you actually care about people, so that's why if they lead with, Kyle, I know it's not part of Team PMA, I know it's part of the branding, I'm going to do better. You just push that aside. I don't even care about PMA right now. I care about you as a human. I want to know what's going on in your life that this is happening. I lost 85 games in a row trying to play.
Well, then it's understandable. You get a free pass. Jesus. Okay, now I did have another question. So far, it's going well. What would be your current recommendation looking for sponsors? Have you gone through that process before? Do you just send out emails? Do you Google's our website? How do you go through that process?
You look at anybody who is currently sponsoring things in the gaming industry. So you look at events. I mean, events aren't obviously happening, but any online events that are happening, you look at the number of people who message me to say, hey, I see you sponsor Manco. What are the terms? What are the deals? Do you want to sponsor me? That's what you should be doing. Like, looking at the other sponsors of the shows.
So check out other streams and start from there and look at their sponsors and see what's up.
Events, right? Like Draft Buff, for sure, is everywhere. Sponsoring even.
Isn't that, well, we're going to do, like, we have to be selective, but isn't Draft Buff, like, isn't that betting, I thought?
It's fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, but whatever.
That's not up our alley. But yeah, I get what you're talking. I get your
Well, sure, whatever.
from.
Listen, yes, if that doesn't fit within your guidelines, then you cut it.
Yeah, but I think that's good though. Starting with just
Dropout is doing a lot smaller deals. Alienware is obviously probably the biggest, or one of the biggest. Like, how do you get an Alienware deal? Who's the person at Alienware that you need to talk to get in? And then whoever. G Fuel. Yeah, like, do you want to be, again, this is where I struggle with sponsorships, because I want to actually use the thing. So if I had G Fuel sponsor me, I'd have to drink G Fuel.
Yeah,
and,
I wouldn't.
And I don't want to drink G Fuel, so I'm not talking to G Fuel.
That time as well. I have to really sync with the sponsor.
Yeah. So they're already spending. The last thing you want to do is convince people to bet on gaming, right? To get into gaming, like whatever headphones you're using right now. I don't know. It's Logitech headset. Great. You don't want to go to Logitech and try to convince them to sponsor streamers. It's too complicated. Don't convince somebody. You want people who are already in the space and give them an opportunity for a better deal. Somebody's spending money in gaming, and then show them what you can do.
I think we're making progress with that. It's going great so far. It feels great because we're making our streamers real money, right? It helps them. There's a lot of streamers that aren't full time that are paying their bills, right? They're in that process, so it feels good. And it's we do bring, hey, our pitch, right? And I want your opinion. Our pitch is like, hey, we're Team PMA on Twitch. We've got 44 streamers who are positive as heck. We'd love to work with you and see what we can work out. That's pretty much our pitch. Summarized, and I think it's going good. I think it's going well. It's awesome. I'm excited to see the future of it. Give me your opinion. You don't look satisfied there.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I'm paraphrasing. Of course, it's more than that. I don't just say, "Hey, we're positive streamers, give us money." It's more than that, but that's like the main thing. Branding around the positivity. These are people you want to work with who are wholesome, who represent you and me well, and the works.
Okay. So the thing that's missing from that pitch is represent them for what? Like, what do I get? If I'm the sponsor, why am I working with you?
Evan, hello. That's like saying, hey, why do we brew there? Because we need brew there. Sponsors want to find people to promote. Hello.
No, but even as we had an offline conversation talking about the difference between conversion and branding.
That was very helpful. That was some nice knowledge. No, it's really good. It gets you thinking. No, for real, that's like something that you put. Like, it's like that was 2 + 2 to you, but to me that was like the biggest algorithm mathematician statement. But it makes a lot of sense.
So you need to incorporate that into your pitch. Because somebody who cares about just converting people to signups, I've got a new app that I need to get somebody to sign up for. So when you say working with us, you get to work with positive streamers. Okay, great. But what I really need to do is, I like that, but I want to convert people to sign up for my app.
Well, it's easier to do with a nice, tight knit, and positive community that are willing to help their streamer out with whatever they need.
Yeah. So that's at the top for sure, right? You want to be with a company that wants to support positive streamers and spreading goodness on the Rift. Awesome. And that is much more branding play. Like the branding guy is going to care about how many people are watching the stream, how many concurrent viewers are we having, right? How engaged are the people? What's the background going to look like? Like, can we have our little Red Bull lamp showing up, on your, right? Like that's the branding that they care about, the brand elements. So the size of the stream and the brand elements. Somebody who cares about conversion is only caring about how many signups you're going to get me. They don't care if you wear their shirt or hat or headphones or put a lamp in the shot, or right.
To find out if they know, do you just ask straight up? Would you just say, "Hey, do you care about branding or conversion?" Or do you say, "How would you do it?" And also, what if the sponsor doesn't know? So how would you go about that, finding that out? Because that is really useful information. How would you go about finding that out, like, efficiently?
So one, you look at the size of the company. Twitch cares about branding. Startup company cares about conversions. So that's a good starting point right away. Two, you're looking at other deals.
Time out.
Yeah.
Sorry. For example, Raid Shadow Legends cares about conversions, but I would think they're huge. So is that like a blip in the radar, or would that be that's all they care about in my experience? So would that be a blip in the radar, or is that just
it's company culture as well as who you're dealing with. So second, you look at what's the title, like who are we dealing with at the company? Because how they say it matters. If somebody's title is brand sponsorships, it's different than sales and marketing.
That's fair.
So look at the title of the person. Third, you can ask them. Like this shows your level of sophistication when you're talking to them. Before you even pitch, the best pitches are the ones where you listen first, right? The greatest salespeople are the ones who use their 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? You listen first. Every time I talk to a potential sponsor, we have that conversation. Like before we get started, what's most important to you? Are you looking for branding? You want to be associated with my brand? You want to get in front of entrepreneurs? Or are you looking for conversions? Like we're tracking leads to landing pages and sales, right? And then you take it from there. Like depending on how they answer that question, you have a slightly different pitch. Yes, positive streamers, but depending on how they answer, they care about branding. Now we're talking about how many streamers we have, how many impressions they're going to get, how many people watch concurrently on the stream. Conversions, we're talking about other deals we've done, how we're going to promote your product, landing page setups, tracking codes, cookies, all that stuff. Yeah, definitely changes your pitch depending on it. And you can just ask. And if they don't know, it's conversions.
All right. Yeah, I think that's very like that's something I didn't know before you talked about it. Like it's good to that's like a great identifier of what you're working with.
Yeah.
What you need to be doing too, Sweet. Okay. It's exciting stuff.
It's my first time ever seeing Mank with no hat. What a great day to be alive. That should be a shirt, by the way.
It should be what?
What a great day to be alive.
What a day to be alive, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good shirt for you. All right.
That would be.
Oh, Manko in the house. Appreciate you, man. Good luck.
It's
been awesome seeing it grow. I mean, from
it is, yeah. It's great.
In a Walmart parking lot sleeping to changing your own life around, turning into a business, and now helping other people do it as well. I'm pumped.
It feels good. It feels good. With your help, of course. You've been there along the way.
Let's go. All right. Thanks, Kyle.
See you later, buddy. Have a great day.
Cheers.